Okay, welcome to the tutorial. What we are going to be looking at is 3D databases and 4D. This also applies to 2D databases. We'll be looking at 2D first, then 3D, but you can apply the same logic to 4D databases. And that is, how do I get my index of where I clicked, of the block or nugget or the cell I clicked on, from the X and Y, or the X, Y, and Z, or the X, Y, Z, and W of where I clicked. Also, how can I get my X, Y, and Z back from my index? I need to do both in game programming. Now, you've probably seen some functions out there that are meant for the insurance industry or the accounts receivable or accounts billing industry that a lot of people were throwing around on Stack Overflow and other websites. And people were complaining, or they didn't understand them because they didn't really work, because sometimes they return zero. And the reason for that is, in the insurance industry and the accounts receivable and the accounts billing and the finance industry generally, they want those functions to return zero if anything's not completed. And therefore, where we want the zero not to zero out the index says returning in the equation, they want it to return zero to tell them to go send it back to processing because it's not ready yet. It's not meant for game programming. And a lot of people get frustrated and they don't know what to do. And basically, they're using equations from the wrong industry. This is 3D database programming. And my Wacom tablet is messed up again. Why do you keep doing that to me? Wacom tablet. I've fixed this so many times today, and I'm not restarting this again. Quit it. You got it? Quit it. You're there. See? I've done it. I've put it on the right side. And now... Nope, it's still going to do it to me. It's going over to the corner. You are really getting on my nerves. Okay, one more try. One more try here. Come on. Okay, it's working now. Okay, so let's look at a simple graph before we start. For 2D, can't really draw here. Yeah, we use that. For 2D, well, I can't draw anyway, so. Hey. Be nice, Mr. Pen. So these are our cells. Maybe they're hexagons. Maybe they're cubes. Maybe they're circles. We don't know. Whatever game you're trying to design. And of course, X is that way. In this case, it would be Y is that way. So when we click on a cell, we get back an X and a Y. From that, we need to know either the column span for this or the row span for this, depending on which way we want to go. I think I spelled columns wrong. So when you click on it, we want that value back. So let's get out, undo all this, and let's jump over. Ah, come on. Don't give me that many undos. Go away. So what I've started here is a simple Windows Form project. I am going to keep my mock-up of this open in another window. And now Microsoft isn't showing me the code. My computer is just acting strange today. It's taking, okay, there we go. And we need a layout. This is a Windows Form project, C#, Visual Studio 2019. I cannot think of a single reason it would not work in an earlier or later version. It should work all the way back to .NET 0 point something, the original beta, because we're creating all the functionality ourselves. Okay, I need the toolbox. We're just going to lay out in this first video our window and get all of our stuff in there. What are you doing? Crazy labels. Where's my text box? So we're going to lay out the 2D first. And yeah, this is for game programming. It's not for text game programming. I'm talking about 3D game programming. But we can get our logic in place in a nice little forms application here. No, no. Sometimes have to treat Visual Studio like a pet. Don't do it. Don't do it, Visual Studio. Don't you dock all that stuff where I don't want it docked, because I don't want it docked anywhere. Bad Visual Studio. Okay. So this will be our number of rows and our number of columns, but we also need a way to pick one. So we're just going to copy those and paste them right back in. But this will be our column and our row that we want to fetch. Old school language there. I'm going to fetch it. Alrighty. Generate. Put you right down there. btn get fetch. Fetch is on my mind now, so I'm going to use fetch. And we need one more text box and one more label, because we have to get a message from our code that tells us what we got, what we're selecting. And this is actually going to be pretty fast tutorial, so no worries. And now we just want to generate, double click on the generate button, come back over to the form, double click on the get button or the fetch button, and we'll close that for right now. And before I close this intro, let's go ahead and create our struct. Just put it at the top of the form. We don't care. We're not getting too particular here. And we're just going to put a key in it. And I'm going to put M underscore under it because it's a member, but we don't, because I'm old, I guess. And I'd like to know what variables are member level instead of what variables are local. And I want Now parse my text boxes. I want to store those values, the columns in the rows, but not the column in the row that we're requesting. And I think that's about it for this segment. We are set up for the first part. Go ahead and thumbnail both of those, and I will see you on the next video in just a few minutes.